During the American Civil War 1861 to 1865, tens of thousands of soldiers were captured by both Union and Confederate forces. While some were exchanged early in the war, the breakdown of the prisoner exchange system led to overcrowded prison camps that quickly became infamous for their brutal conditions. Life in these camps was marked by hardship, disease, hunger, and psychological suffering, making them one of the most tragic aspects of the war. Overcrowding and unsanitary conditions. As the war dragged on and prisoner exchanges ceased, camps originally built for a few thousand men swelled to hold tens of thousands. Andersonville Prison in Georgia, officially known as Camp Sumter, was designed for 10,000 but held over 30,000 at its peak. Inmates lived shoulder to shoulder in open stockades, with no barracks or adequate shelter. Rain and heat made living conditions unbearable, and basic sanitation was nearly non-existent. A single stream often served as both drinking water and a latrine. Diseases like dysentery, typhoid, and scurvy spread rapidly. Prisoners were infested with lice, and their clothes deteriorated until many wore little more than rags. Food shortages and malnutrition. Rations were meager and nutritionally insufficient. Cornbread, small portions of meat, if any, and contaminated water were the staples of a prisoner's diet. Starvation and malnutrition took a deadly toll. By the end of the war, thousands had died from preventable conditions linked to inadequate food. Psychological strain and despair. Life in the camps wore heavily on the mind. With no knowledge of when, or if, they would be released, many prisoners suffered from depression, hopelessness, and mental breakdowns. Suicide was not uncommon. Despite the grim conditions, some prisoners tried to maintain morale through religion, writing, music, or forming rudimentary societies inside the camps. Differences between Union and Confederate camps. Although both sides ran prison camps, Confederate prisons, due to severe supply shortages and a collapsing economy, often had more extreme conditions. Andersonville alone saw over 13,000 deaths out of 45,000 Union prisoners. However, northern camps like Elmira in New York and Camp Douglas in Illinois were not without serious problems. Harsh winters, overcrowding, and neglect led to thousands of Confederate deaths as well. Legacy and memory. After the war, the horrors of prison camps became a symbol of the broader tragedy of the Civil War. Survivors' testimonies and photographs helped the public understand the suffering endured behind stockade walls. Memorials at sites like Andersonville now stand as reminders of the cost of war, not just on the battlefield but in the prison yards where so many perished in silence.